Hey, senders, welcome back to another episode of the Segment Podcast on a Tuesday. What's up, Joey Yates?
It's Tuesday already. Woo! What a
How are you?
weekend.
Dude, what a weekend. How are you feeling from the Sky Park Bike Fest?
I'm still living the stoke from the Sky Park Bike Fest.
I know, right? Exactly. It was so good. Taking a look at the audience, Joey, look at a lot of these people. I'm sure were up on the mountain. I know for sure they were. Alpha MTB was up there.
I thought I saw this guy. Did I see this?
Adam Mock. Yep. Adam Mock was out there. Eurobridge, he says, take a look at Adam Mock's one of his latest videos. It is a reaction video to one of his videos. Super funny. And then Alpha MTB, I see, is out there. Alpha, I hope you found that chain for your bike. I know you broke it right there when you got on to the top of Snow Valley. So great to see you in the park for a few seconds. It's Sky Park looking for a chain. I also see Trail Dogs MTB just jumped on. What's up, boys? Howdy, they say. What's up? What's up? MTB Nick, 123. I know you were on your way to Sky Park. And then somehow Siri took you over to opening day at Snow Valley. That was pretty cool how you made that detour. Brett Hall is on the line. What's up, Brett? I see you. I see you. Brett Hall, the owner of Unspoken. Check out that clothing line. Super comfortable clothes. And man, with that said, Joey, you and I finally got a chance to be on our bike. It had been like 3 weeks. I had a surgery, family emergency, a bunch of excuses. and then you had a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But we finally got our brand new YT decoys out on the mountain. What was your first impression of your bike?
That being at Sky Park with the coil spring on that bike, that was a game changer. Like I mean, it's already smooth on rough terrain, and then you put it on Sky Park, and it's just predictable and poppy and fun, and yeah, that was so fun.
Dude, one of the best things you always say when we're riding our coil, I got to push on mine, and you say it's like taking every single rough trail out there and making it feel like Sky Park. Yeah. And then when we were at Sky Park doing the interviews, you're like, Mark, what are you going to say? You're at Sky Park now. I don't think you can use that line.
and then having the members only trail headed up to the top was pretty nice. Or members only e-bike trail.
That's right. For those of you who don't know, Sky Park just opened up a brand new trail upline to the top. It's called E-Ballers Only, I believe. E-Ballers Only. Nice. And I raced Joey up there, and I got up there in 2 minutes, 11 seconds, which was super fun. And Joey took the long way around, which is called now On Your Left, as he was passing people up on the mountain on his E. But anyways, we had a blast. It was great to see everybody.
When I got up there, I think you were just finishing a sandwich or something too, right?
I woke up from a nap. Someone was massaging my tootsies. Life was good. Life was good. But hey, guys, tonight's show, we have a special guest all the way from Bentonville, Arkansas. You probably recognize her from the hilarious Instagram channel. Her name is Jess Hana, and her handle is called Jess the Maker. And it is absolutely hilarious. If you guys get a chance, if you haven't yet, you got to take a look. It will definitely tickle your funny bone. And we are so honored to have her on the show tonight. Joey, what are you going to ask Jess?
Ooh, I've got some questions.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think one, I kind of asked her backstage to make sure that everything was charged and ready.
Yeah. Batteries, exactly.
Right. This one's going to be good.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this. She's also just back from a recent trip to Peru. So if you all are in the live, go ahead and chat away, ask questions as well. As always, the Segment Podcast is very interactive. And without further ado, what do you think, Joey? Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you Jess Hana.
There she comes.
Oh! Is it like an tribute?
Yeah,
like punching the air with excitement.
Nice.
What's up?
Yeah, Jess, good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting. There's people chatting. So at first when you said podcast, I was like, oh great, I don't have to care what I look like because it's just audio. And then I realized it wasn't. So cool. I just like put a hat on, wearing my blue light glasses because, I throw myself down mountains, but God forbid the blue light gets me.
right. The bad
Yeah.
waves, blue light. Adam Mock is saying air punches. The air deserves it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. It did in Peru, I will tell you that.
Yeah. So what was this recent trip to Peru? So I know we'll get into your story, but this is part of your story.
Sure.
You were just in Peru for how long?
I was there for a week, traveling with an organization called World Ride, which I'm a part of, and they're a nonprofit that has that runs these trips. They're co-ed, they're for everybody, but this happened to be just a women's trip, and guided mountain bike tours in some pretty amazing places, like Nepal, Guatemala, Peru being one of them. Yeah, definitely check them out. Yeah.
Whoa. So are you an ambassador for Worldwide? Do you work for them, or how is it?
So I'm actually on the board of directors, and I've been since right before COVID started. So I was all stoked to like be a part of the organization, and then COVID started, and it was just a lot of the things that we had going on had to kind of be put on hold. A lot of trips stopped. And so, yeah, that was a really tough time, especially for a lot of our partners in these other countries that rely on tourism dollars. And that was tough. That was tough. But getting back to Peru, our guide was like so stoked. He hadn't worked in 2 years. So this was pretty cool to be able to go and experience Peru. Yeah.
Wow. So does that group, does it take people from the US and travel them over to Peru and guide you through all the trails? Is that how that works?
Yeah. So, so we are based in the US, but we had about 50% of our group was Canadian. So we have people from all over whoever wants to go on these trips and has the means to be able to travel internationally. I mean, these are just like epic places. And
look at those views.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, it was so lovely. And a lot of these places, well, in Peru particularly, like they don't have a whole lot of purpose-built mountain bike trails in the Sacred Valley. It was all just like raw, rowdy, DH, yum. Like it was so good. Like old Incan trails that like alpacas and llamas like go up and down, people go up and down from their farms and things like that. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Some sacred grounds, some beautiful like raw scenery and raw trails out there. Alpha MTB is asking you, is it just local to Peru or is it all over the world? He's asking.
That's a great question. So World Ride right now has trips in Guatemala, Nepal, Lesotho, which is a country within a country. I didn't even know this, but it's a country within South Africa. We just have our first one, in partnership with Shredley, actually. That is in August. And so, that one's happening. And we're trying to work on one in Botswana and then Peru. So, we're trying to grow, into these countries and really trying to empower women to become mountain bike guides and coaches themselves in these countries. So a lot of the funds, anything we make extra on the trip, right? We work with local guide companies in these countries, but anything extra goes towards our programming. So,
that is awesome. Devin is saying, Jess is awesome.
Devin, you're awesome.
Devin, you made her blush.
Awesome. Thanks for my face hurts right now. Anyway,
Trail Dogs saying so rad. That is cool. I mean, for the love of the sport and all the trails, and to be able to have an organization that you can go out and just go across borders. I mean, some of those views that Joey just brought up, those are all pictures of Peru, yeah? Jeez,
yes, those were all Peru. That was the executive director, Julie, who's one of my friends. She is also an amazing photographer. So she took all of those photos. Wow. So, but just an epic experience, and highly recommend if you have the chance. For sure.
Dang. That is cool. I had no idea. Stoked that you're on a board for something like that, man. That is so cool, Jess. Going back to, let's rewind a little bit back to Jess Hana and the whole question, like, how did you get started in mountain biking? And more specifically, do you remember when you fell in love with the sport?
I do. Yeah. So I've been mountain biking for about 10 years. and it was an ex-partner that got me into it. He borrowed a bike from a friend, and it was a hardtail, 2 sizes too large. I grew up in the Northeast, like the tri-state area. And so I got on this bike, and I remember the first ride I went on with him, I wasn't even on a mountain bike trail. I was on like an ATV path, and I just grabbed like a fistful of front brake, just flew off the bike. No. And we were just dating at the time. So of course I'm like, I know how to ride bike, like, and super embarrassed. Also the riding, have y'all ever ridden in the Northeast or like in Pennsylvania, upstate New York or anything?
I've heard it's a different animal back there.
It's just different. There's roots, there's rocks that are like snaggle teeth all over. It's just, and so I remember being like, and my ex, at the time he rode at like a rigid single speed through like all this, and I remember being like, I never saw him on the trail. I'd be like, finally, like I'd catch up and I'd be like, I did it. And he would just be on his phone, like not out of breath at all. And I feel like this story is a familiar story for many, many people out there who get into it and their partner has been riding for a while. So you're like, I don't get why people like this. This is awful. And I hate it. But it's like that, whatever the challenge of it that kept me coming back, I hadn't been a beginner at something in a long time. So the frustration of being a beginner again, I was like, no, I'm going to try to do this. And then I moved to central New York, to Ithaca, where I met an amazing group of women that just like took me in. And that's, I think, when I really fell in love with mountain biking. Cause I was like, oh, I could just have social time and drinkies and snacks, and we could have a great time together. Yeah. And that's when I really fell in love with mountain biking, was probably around that time. Yeah. So
that's cool. That's such the best feeling, man. I love that. Yeah. Budo Dave is saying Jess is hella funny.
Budo Dave, I think you're hella funny. Thank you. And I want to bring hella, by the way, that's a West Coast thing, y'all. And I say y'all now. I've only lived in Arkansas since last August, but I say y'all because I feel like it's so inclusive. But I want to bring hella here, so I could be like, y'all are hella, whatever, Let's do it.
Funny. When I was a little kid, I remember going up to like Stockton area, Northern California. All my cousins would always say hella, hella, and I'm from Southern California. I'm like, oh man, that's cool.
So it's a NorCal thing?
It might be like a NorCal thing. Yeah. Let us know, folks. Is hella, Devin says hella West Coast. Riding Dirty's out. Riding Dirty from Arizona just jumped on. It says, what's up? What's up? Well, yo, what up, homies?
What's up, Dirty? Nice. An epic photo.
Jumping over to Riding Dirty for a second. I thought the trail dogs were loud on the trails. Then you ride with Eric. Not Eric, Rippin.
Oh. Yes, his cousin.
Oh, Rippin. His cousin. Oh, man, it's hard. That guy's loud.
Jess, are you familiar with Riding Dirty and Ripper Riding?
I'm familiar with Riding Dirty, yeah.
Yeah, so Riding Dirty has a cousin named Ripper Riding who's like got the mullet, the pit vipers.
I love it.
The whole thing. He is wild, man. Wait until you see some of the footy coming out of Sky Park Bike Fest. Good Lord.
I am stoked. Bring it on. Bring it on. Yes.
So like 10 years ago, you jumped on the bike. You fell in love with it when you found out the social aspect with your friends. Do you remember the bike that you were on when you were falling in love with the sport?
Yeah. So, well, I have to back up because though 10 years ago I got into the sport, I actually asked my parents for a mountain bike when I was like 5 or 6. The kid down the street had a mountain bike, which it just had a lot of gears, and so I asked my parents. I asked Santa. Correction. I had asked Santa for a mountain bike, and what I received was a like the just like the typical for that era, like in the 90s, pink bike with the streamers, coaster, or a banana seat with coaster brakes. But y'all, I ripped on that thing so hard. I still have I have a huge scar on my elbow, like just trying really hard to like dodge. I lived on a dirt road, so like so I really that was my first bike technically, but I think the bike that I was on that was borrowed was like a giant, I don't even remember. It was a giant bike, but it was a hardtail, like 2 sizes too large. But my first real bike for myself was a Trek Lush, which was a 26-inch. It was a 26-inch wheel, you know, little narrow handlebars, but I had full squish. So I do feel lucky that banana seat on the decoy sounds like a great idea.
Adam Mock is saying, man, I need a banana seat on my decoy. Is that so we can ride on the back with them? I don't know.
Tandem banana seat decoy.
Oh my gosh. So Jess, what bike are you riding today? What are you on right now?
Okay.
Multiple bikes. So I've seen some of the reels.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Okay, so my main. Oh yeah, yes. There we go.
When you realize you're going to be broke the rest of your life because of the choice you made.
I don't see a problem here, but
thank you. I don't either. I mean, it's just the choice we all make as mountain bikers. So my main bike that I've had now since 2018, it was actually the year they released, was Revel bikes. I have a Revel Rascal 29er. It's actually the 24th bike they made. I got like a special plate for it that I've never stuck on it, but Randy is the name of that bike. Randy is the 24th bike off the line, and I've been riding him for the last since 2018. Love that bike. And then I have a dirt jumper. It's a Chromag Monk. I love that bike too. And then I just got a new bike.
Oh, a new one.
That's Maggie. Yeah. Oh, Maggie. And I have a new one. That's Maggie.
Okay.
And then my newest bike is actually a live bike. It is their Intrigue Advanced Pro, which is also a 29er. And so it's my first and it has a Fox live valve.
What? Wait, tell me what
y'all know how I am with charging things.
Right.
It's Fox's live valve system for their forks. It's there's a battery. I have yet to really take Lola is my new bike, but I haven't taken Lola for her maiden voyage yet because it's just been raining, like dumping rain here. So yeah. Oh, wow. I also have a hardtail. Sorry, that I could go on and on about all the bikes. I have a transition. Awesome. I used to ride a lot. I used to ride a lot of transition bikes, and I still have my transition hardtail Trans Am, which is a 27.5, just hardtail, and I keep that at my mom's house. And I call it my humble bike. So when I go to the Northeast and see my family and friends up there, I get on that bike, and it's just I love it. I love actually getting on that bike, and it didn't cost that much, but I don't think I'll ever get rid of it because it forces me to do different things on the bike, right? And use different muscles and different skills, right? I just love that bike. So yeah.
Yeah, less room for error on those hardtails, right? You gotta be on it. You gotta be on it. Yeah. We had a couple comments there in the chat that said, let's see, one of them was like always broke but never broken, I think. And then there was another one that says we got into the sport to be broke. Right and Dirty says Alpha MTB was saying Aaron was jumping and pulling manuals on the beach cruiser for sure.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, y'all know who Ryan Leach is. Ryan Leach. I think he put out a thing about he could manual or wheelie any bike, and it was just pretty crazy. Beach cruiser manuals sound great.
I love the fact that you named all of your bikes. That is so cool. I know Joey's in the stage of trying to name his new bike, but tell me what was the process for naming your bike? Because Joey's kind of we're picking up names.
Feel it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta feel it. One day you wake up and you're like, Randy. I was just it looks like a Randy, Okay. And my green hardtail, my transition hardtail, I call the green. It's not really a name. I just call it the Green Goblin. GG.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just gotta try some on. See what fits.
I'm feeling good with Grimace right now.
Ooh,
you know who Grimace is? Grimace is the purple little guy from McDonald's.
The purple thing from McDonald's. Not the Hamburglar. Grimace is the big fluffy one.
I just feel like he's a little bit of a troublemaker. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I like that.
What was Grimace anyways? What was he supposed to be? I mean, the Hamburglar, yes, Mr. McDonald himself, obviously he's a
Right.
clown. What
No
the heck
clue what
was
Grimace
what
is.
was Grimace? Was it
like
a
like
monster?
Yeah.
belly
McDonald's.
button went. I don't know.
McDonald's, please don't
Just
sue
like
us.
a
We really
troublemaker.
don't know. He's
Oh my
purple.
gosh.
So Joey's bike's purple, so that's where he was going with the Grimace thing. Okay,
Yeah.
with yours, you have it sounds like an automatic suspension with Lola, but how did you come up with Lola? Where did Lola come from?
I don't know. I just, live bikes. It started with an L. So I was like, Lola. I don't know. I just, like Randy is a rebel. So I think it's easy, right? Like kind of go with the name structure. I kind of get inspired from that. But yeah, I think you just find what goes best. Yeah. So that's my best advice to you, Joey.
Okay.
There you go, Joey.
I
had two names for the new decoy that I just got. It's the green color. It's the Core 3. And so it's German. So I thought Stella would be great. And then for some reason, I thought Ranger would be cool. And so I put it up on Instagram and I said, what would you name it? Stella or Ranger? And I put the vote thing on there. The first time it came in 50-50 Stella, 50 Ranger, like dead even. Like, oh my gosh. So
that's pretty amazing.
It was crazy, right? So I put it back up again. And then people this time gave me the reasons why. One of them was like, dude, do you really want to be riding a Ranger? Or would you rather be riding a Stella all day long? I'm like, good question. I don't know. So like internally, I was confused. Like, I really want to vote for Stella now because it sounds weird to be riding a Ranger the whole time. And then Ranger won 52-48. Yes. Isn't that crazy?
So that's pretty
close.
cool. You left it up to the internet, which is a crazy place, a beautiful place. I've met so many cool people, including yourselves.
I'm so glad that it just stayed with those two names. Once I put it up to the internet, it did come back still Stella or Ranger, which is great. Right and Journey is saying that's actually a great way to name a bike. Nice.
Great way.
There you go. See, you got to feel it out. Vina Keva MTB says, I love the name Trans Am for your transition.
Yeah, that's good.
Trans Am.
Yeah. Was it actually Trans Am or was it actually the name?
It's GG, the name for the Trans Am is the model for that particular. I don't even think they make that bike anymore, y'all. But yeah, that bike took me a lot of really great places. And I think someone said in the chat, like once you name them, it's hard to like give them up, or sell them. And it is. Right. I have a really hard time like getting rid of GG, and I think because I did like a lot of bike packing on that bike and just took me a lot of really cool places. So
some good memories. Definitely. It's cool when you can look at a bike and like almost feel like you're back to a specific trail or spot or trip. That is awesome. Definitely hard to get rid of those bikes for sure.
Level of riding too.
True.
You just need a bigger garage. All the bikes can stay.
Jess, your Instagram is freaking hilarious. Folks out there, take a look at her Instagram if you haven't already. It is super funny. You're at over 14,000 followers, and I was looking from the beginning of your reels until today. And at the beginning of the reels, it's like Cooper with a stick in his mouth, like cruising across a river, and then all of a sudden there's like a change about 5 or 6 or 7 reels in. There's like you with that green mustache, and then there's you talking to you like when friends like to talk on the climb. And it's like you can see the funny bones starting to come out. And then from then on out, it's just all out, just hilarious. Have you always had this like silly side to you that's just felt comfortable putting it on IG, or where does that come from?
So have I always been? Yeah, I have. I think I had to like let the weird out, y'all. Like my friends are like, yeah, that's just Jess. My good friend Amy, she reached out to me. She's like, someone random, like one of my ski coach friends sent me one of your reels. And my friend Amy's like, I was just on the phone with her the other day and she was peeing. Like literally like she's like, we are pee friends. We're the type of friends that pee on the phone together, and so Yeah, like I do feel like it really I had to, so let me back up, because there was a point in my life where I made a very conscious decision of like, okay, like let me try this. And my previous partner who I was married to, we divorced, and so that was a really hard time for me, where I like had to think about, is mountain biking even for me? Like I was like, we had done it together, and granted, like I had my own thing and he had his own thing that he would do and things like that, but I had this like moment where I was like, oh no. And so I had to reevaluate the sport for myself. And granted, he's a phenomenal rider, my ex. I mean, he loves like the grinding, grueling, many miles. Like he's done the Colorado Trail Race. He's done like, that's him. Jeez. Me, I'm like, I like to just play around and, like have fun on the bike. And so I had to realize what it was that mountain biking brought to me, which was having fun, right? I always kind of tout, like it's not about the miles I pack in, it's about the smiles I pack in.
Oh, love it.
With my friends. Yeah, with my friends, with new people that I coach as well. And so getting to meet people through the sport, like the community that mountain biking has brought into my life, like that alone, is just amazing, right? And so I went through this like, okay, is mountain biking for me? And I thought a lot about how I was in other parts of my life. For example, before I made content for the internet, I was a graphic designer. I still am. I still do some design work. I'm a graphic designer. I have been since college. That's what I went to college for. I've worked as a freelancer. I've worked for tech companies. And and in all of that experience, the common thread, like through all of it, was always bringing fun and humor into the day. And, I managed a team when I was at one of the startups. And so like, I always was trying to just inject fun and play pranks on people, which probably like HR, luckily it was a startup, so we didn't have HR. So
let me guess, was it Jess Hana?
Yeah, they're like, it was Jess again, So anyway, so the common thread through all of that at the core of who I am is I love making people laugh. Even when I was a kid, I loved making my parents laugh. I loved making my friends laugh. I like bringing joy that way, and I like connecting with people through that kind of humor, and so I let the weird out. I just let it out, and then it happened. Awesome. And the video that kind of changed it for me was the how do you afford a high-end mountain bike? Which is my video. And that video, y'all, before I posted it, I sat there and I was like, I might not post this. Like, I don't think, maybe no one will think this is funny. And then I was like, F it. I was like, I think it's funny. And I was like, I'm posting it. And then so that was super awesome. And the good folks over at Pink Bike reshared it recently. And so that was pretty exciting. And so anyway, that's kind of it. So to answer your question, it's always been a part of me at my core of who I am. So it feels very natural. It doesn't feel like work to me to be like this.
That's cool.
Jess.
Nice.
That's awesome, Jess. That's a gift. That's a gift. You know what's crazy? Like humor really seems to like drop the walls, and allows people to remember where they are. Kind of gets them out of the mundane, and they can pay attention to what's happening if you're trying to teach them things. And I love that about your content. Joey, do you happen to have that clip up there? And while we're doing that, Alpha MTB says, some days you're part of the safety meeting. Other days you're the reason for the safety meeting.
I am more often not more the latter there. Yeah, totally.
Right and Dirty says, letting the weird out is legit.
Let the weird out. Let it out. Just let it out. Let it
be. You would know.
What is the screenshot on the one that we're talking about with the one you're
further there's like, I'm in front of a blue garage door, so it's further down, and it's how do you afford a high-end mountain bike? And also some of you got my studio tour in the stories. But I live in my current partner and I, we live in a fixer-upper. And I was just one day, I was like, and he works from home, and I was like, I'm gonna, for whatever reason, I was like, I'm gonna make a video today. And I was like, hey babe, do you have time to come film this? He's like, I'm in meetings all day. And I was like, okay, no worries. So I like got my friend tripod. I need to name my tripod. Y'all add some like comments in there. What should I name my tripod? I'm gonna add googly eyes to it. But like, I just took my tripod and I was like, I'm doing this. Like, it was a snowy day. I couldn't ride. So yeah.
That was hilarious. Like with the countertops and the hair clip that you use for the curtain. It's the best.
Oh yeah.
It's
the chip
so
clip.
Funny. Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Someone
Colorado
kid showed up.
Just jumped on. He says, hey, did she give you a date for her YouTube channel start date yet?
We have a couple, yeah.
I
also had Gabe was asking that too.
Both hit it.
Gabe was asking the same thing. Yes.
Y'all, I know. I need to get my S together. Am I allowed to curse on here? So I'm just saying S. I'm gonna get my poop together, my crap together. And so I have no specific date yet, but I do really want to break into the YouTube scene. And so yeah. There's some plans.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Like more of a longer version of what you've been putting on Instagram, or?
So I've been working on a project called Dirt Scouts, and it would be a community of ragtag individuals. And I think for me is I think Jess the Maker will always be my stuff that I put out to be funny, but I would love this to be more of a collaborative thing with other people. And so I think, and why not? Like Bentonville is now like considered the mountain bike capital of the world. And so I think why not from here? So I think there's some dreams there that I would love to further. And it's coming.
Wow. Dirt. You call it Dirt Scouts is what you said?
Dirt Scouts.
Dirt Scouts. What would one have to do to try out for Dirt Scouts? Asking for Colorado Kid and Joey Yates MTB.
You're there's no trying out. You're just going to be a part of it.
Yes.
I'll rope you in. Don't worry.
Yes. This sounds awesome. Nice. So coming soon. And I think Joey has the reel up for all of you all who want to know the moment where Jess the Maker. Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Here it comes.
Well, let's see. We got to get it to start correctly here. Here, let me get off of it and back on.
Joey, you're amazing. I love that this
I'm trying.
He is a wizard. Afton MTB saying, where do I apply for Dirt Scouts?
Yeah. Y'all pop me an email, jessthemaker@gmail.com. Oh, yeah.
Here it comes.
Oh.
The key is
first things first, I'm the realest.
We prioritize other things.
The whole world feeling.
Bedroom furniture. Countertops. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, not much has been updated since then. We did upgrade from the Gorilla Tape to the to like command hooks. So I don't know if you can actually see the curtains. You can actually see the curtain right there.
If we move the curtains, can we see the trails?
That I roll right down my driveway onto trail, y'all.
Dang.
That's one of the biggest reasons that I moved to Bentonville was the trail access. So yeah. And the luxurious living.
Yeah. Look at you putting it in there, putting all the hard work in. Oh my gosh. So you moved from the East Coast to Bentonville, or were you somewhere else before Bentonville?
I've been all over the place. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I lived in central New York then, like after college for about 8 years. And then I lived in an RV for 2 years. Yes. And so got to come through Bentonville at that point, checked out a bunch of really awesome places, and then ended up living in Idaho. So right before Bentonville, I was living in Idaho with my now partner, and we were like, everything's getting expensive. It was like COVID times, and we realized that like if we don't buy something now, things are like this, you know, we need to buy something now, and we couldn't afford to live Boise, California, where he's from originally. Everything was just so expensive. And I was like, hey, so there's this place, just, you know, to throw it out there. It's in Arkansas. And he's like, no. No.
Just heard Arkansas.
I was like, hear me out. I was like,
let me finish.
I was like, it's actually really amazing. I sent him all this literature, and excuse me. And he was like, oh, there are pretty amazing mountain bike trails. There are amazing businesses here. And he was like, okay. So we bought a house online, never seeing it
sight
in
unseen.
person.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like our realtor did a FaceTime thing, but like there's no smell on FaceTime. It smelled bad in here. It was bad. and so yeah, we bought it online, essentially, never saw it in person, signed everything virtually, and then like got here at the end of last August. And this community has been amazing. And we love it here. And he's like, and he even said, he's like, you know, I wasn't sure about Arkansas, but this place is magical, and I hope y'all get a chance to come and visit and come ride here because it's pretty fantastic. Have you been?
Not yet, but I can't wait.
Okay.
I'm always talking to some of the guys at the YT mill, and they're kind of bouncing back and forth, and some of the other friends that we have, and they come back with just huge smiles on their faces. Like, you guys wouldn't believe it. You'd have to go there to really enjoy it and see it. Now,
Jess, did your house come with free mountain bikes?
It came with, actually, yes, it did.
Did it really?
It came with, yes. In fact, do you know Joey or no?
No, I was trying to convince the wife at one point in time that we should look into it. And I found an article where if you purchased a house in Bentonville, they would give you a bike.
Okay. So yeah, you're talking about the Life Works Here thing. Yes. Okay. And there is an application. I don't know if they're still doing it, but there was for a while an application to fill out to be able to, right. And they were going to pay you $10,000 to like move here,
$10,000
and give you a mountain bike.
Holy
no, we didn't get that, unfortunately, but we did get a really sweet free, it's like a Walmart bike essentially that was left on the side yard. It's missing a front wheel, and I used it for my, if online dating, if buying your next mountain bike were like online dating, it makes an appearance in that video at the end.
All right, so that counts. It came with a mountain bike.
It came, technically, it was a Next, if y'all know, familiar with the brand. Yes. Yeah, rusted out. Like, yeah.
That reel was hilarious too for you guys and girls out there. You got to check that out. So how did you even think about that one? Because literally, you took like a online dating type of app, and it looks like you're looking at a Santa Cruz, and it's like really likes to go downhill, all that stuff.
So the benefit of being a designer by trade is that I made those screens, like those app screens, like I made those. And that was probably one of my more involved reels. I was like taking screenshots of all the bike websites. I had a bunch, actually. I had the YT-Core in there at one point, and but like I kept like taking like whatever made sense, and I had to just eventually cut it down to just a few screens for this Tinder-like app that I made, you know. But it was really funny the fact that I, one, spent that much time doing that, and two, it ended up being a funny reel. And because being catfished by a bike was an experience. You know, we all go through that at one point or another.
Oh my gosh, you were cracking me up on that because you're like, look at the suspension on you. Like, when was this picture taken? And then, you know, for those of you who have seen it, obviously that bike that you got for free makes a cameo there at the end of the reel, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I was like, and it's funny too. We rented a dumpster, and my partner was like, "It's time for we have this dumpster. We paid for it. This is the perfect time to throw away this piece of junk that was left on our property. And I was like, no, I need it. Like I have plans for it. So yeah, we still have it.
That is awesome. Going back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago, Colorado Kid says Dirt Scouts is the name of my made for TV series in which myself and a ragtag group of adventurists travel to find the best dirt in the world. FYI, LLC'd and everything.
Dude, Callie, you're gonna take me to court. He's gonna copyright. All right, you're coming in, huh? All right, let's go.
Oh my gosh. I've taken plenty of dirt samples. Alpha MTB says, "Does the dirt taste different out there?" Well, we will find out when we go out there.
For sure.
Curious about the house location. You did buy it sight unseen. Did you Google map it and go, oh my God, it is right by this trail and these trails and this is the location? Is that how you did it?
We trail forked the shit out of everything. Like we were like, okay, like that's it. Someone's got to make that app, by the way, like just a layer over another layer. And like, where does it all align? And I mean, especially here now, like people know to add to their listing, like are, really close, conveniently close to trails. Like people know that's a selling point. When we were looking, it was still kind of like, we actually didn't know. And the trail that connects from like right across the street from our house. Okay. So this is funny. The trail that connects is not a technical trail. It's like a footpath that our neighborhood has made that connects to tunnel vision. I live up in Bella Vista, which is north of Bentonville. And what's funny is I like Google Street Viewed for a while. I was like, I think that's an entrance right there, and I'm like zooming in as far as I can. I'm like, I don't know. And then I Strava heat mapped it.
Dang.
Do they still have that feature? But anyway, I next level.
Wow. So you literally barely have to rack your bike. You could pretty much just open the garage and off you go.
Yes. And I am connected to hundreds of miles of trail. I'm connected to hundreds of miles of trails right across the street from my house. And then not to like rub it in or anything, but like I was so used to living like in places where I'd have to load up my bike, load up all the stuff and like 25-minute drive, 30-minute drive to the trailhead. That's a lot of time and it's a lot of, and just so the fact I have no excuses now. Like now it's like, I mean, I still come up with excuses, but I have it right in my yard. So that's pretty awesome. So, yeah.
What are some of your favorite trails that you absolutely love out there? Obviously, I don't know the spot, but I will definitely be looking them up.
Oh, okay. So, well, first of all, I have to mention that so there are a lot of different, areas to ride. And I feel kind of embarrassed to say, like, I haven't even driven the 35 minutes down to Fayetteville, which they have more stuff down there too that I've not explored yet. Dang. Like, because I'm so preoccupied with the stuff up here, like, so some of my favorite stuff. Okay. Anything Kohler Mountain Bike Preserve, which if y'all don't know, it's a whole mountain bike trail network system, and they've got like a hub that you can like ride different fun trails down. And there's a coffee shop / you could get beer there too, that in the middle of the preserve that you could only get to by walking or biking. So you can't.
Is that the one called the hub?
There.
Is that the one called the hub?
So it's Airship.
Okay.
Airship is the name of the coffee place in Kohler, but the hub is kind of like there's a wooden feature that you can like roll off of that has like a jump and like some cool stuff off of it. So that's you have to ride to that. But yeah, the coffee shop. So my favorite trail there, and this is the one I actually got hurt on where I punched I punched the trail. You should see the trail.
I saw the hand.
5 PSI.
You should see the other guy. Yeah. So I punched a trail, but that trail is called Rock Solid, and that's probably my favorite one at Kohler. That or Fireline's always a good time too. Just a big jump trail. I can't pick. There's so many trails around here, y'all. It's so fun. There's a fun like Rocky Tech kind of climb called Sally's. That's a different area. Blowing Springs has some really cool stuff here in Bentonville, and then stuff at Slaughter Pen. I don't know. I can't pick one favorite. They're all pretty great. So
it almost sounds like if you just book a hotel and fly to Bentonville, just go outside and you'll find something you'll love to ride. I mean, there's that much of it, huh?
Yes.
Jeez, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking we just get on Strava and figure out where she takes off from, and then we have a place to stay.
Joey, one would have to remember. Yeah, one would have to remember to turn on their Strava in order to.
That's right.
I will admit, I am the friend that's like, hey, can you tag me in that? Like, I don't even care about the PRs and stuff. Like, I'm just like, I want to remember where I went. And that happened all in Peru too. Like, you think I'm in this epic place. I'm in Peru. You think I would have started my Strava? No. So all of my friends, I'm like, can you tag me in that? Oh yeah, can you tag me in that day too?
It's like Strava fraud. You're getting emails from Strava saying, "Did you really?
Yeah.
Are you traveling abroad?" Like in the credit card.
I know.
I've got the Strava down. I just never remember to turn my goggles around before I take off.
Oh,
They're like, goggles, Joe. Oh, that's right, goggles.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, goggles. I brought them for a reason.
Right.
Are the trails in Bentonville, are they e-bike friendly?
They are.
Ooh,
they are e-bike friendly. A lot of folks love to e-bike here, and I'm coming around to it, y'all. The fact that I can't keep anything charged is one thing, but I think especially for here is to be able to like cover more ground and be able to do a bunch of laps at like a place like Kohler, or there's a couple other areas like Handcut Hollow and just different areas where you could just like zoom back up and then shred back down. But there's not a whole lot of steep elevation like out west, like there, we don't have, I could see that being very beneficial out there. You would get so many laps in here though, which would be kind of fun. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask, did they build the trails so that they're just like if you don't have a lot of elevation change, but the trails must be like built in a way where they've got everything, drops, flow, jumps. They did a pretty good job with all that, huh?
Yeah, and where we are in Northwest Arkansas, there is way more elevation here than other parts, and I don't know, it's surprising. I would say Arkansas is very surprising. I am pleasantly surprised at a lot of the like just looking around in the woods. It reminds me of a lot of like Pennsylvania and stuff like that. So it's not like flat. There are parts that I'm sure are flat, but up here it's rolling and some really, really good terrain for mountain bike trails, and they drain very well. So
nice. That's awesome, man. I'm intrigued. I got to get out there. I really want to check it out. I've seen your footage and then Rich Drew's footage out in that area. It's just, oh my gosh, it looks so amazing. So amazing.
I love the Drews. In fact, that was my first, before I even moved here, Sarah Drew, Rich's wife, she was my first contact here. And when I was like, I'm moving to Bentonville, and she was like, we're going to get a welcome ride together. We're going to like, she was my first like friend here and was so welcoming. And that's the thing that you'll notice when you come and visit Arkansas is just everyone is open art. It feels like a warm hug, a warm non-COVID hug.
That's cool. That sounds really cool. Brett Hall saying, let's make a road trip. Heck yeah.
Come on down, y'all.
Look
me up. Let me know if you're coming.
That would be super fun. Jess, we're going to move into the section of the podcast now. We call it, or it's called. It's called Product Spotlight. And basically just trying to give love back to the people that give love to Jess the Maker. Are there any companies out there that you'd want to highlight?
There's so many. Okay. Well, one I'll have to promote. Well, it's down here, so I'll have to like lift up my shirt. Cosmic Dirt. I'm an ambassador for Cosmic Dirt. And they're based out of Bellingham. Actually, both companies that I'm an ambassador of are both based in Bellingham, Washington. So Cosmic Dirt, they're an apparel company, kind of new to the game, but they are making mountain bike apparel that fits more than just your standard extra small through extra large, right? They want their whole motto is single track for all. And they really want to promote clothing that fits all different shapes and sizes. And so they're wonderful, and they've definitely supported me in a lot of different ways. And then High Above, which is a pack company. I have my pack back there is kind of dirty. I would show you, but it's gross. They make custom made hip packs and other things too, that are all custom made here in the US. And I've ridden with a hip pack for, I don't know, for the last however many years. And because the backpacks, I will definitely wear a backpack if I'm on a longer ride where I need a lot of water or have to carry a lot of water. But, here, I could get by with, there's water fill up stations all over the place in Bentonville too. So I'm like, yeah, on trail. And so I'm like,
This just coming in, Colorado kid. Cosmic Dirt is the name of my made-for-TV sci-fi series in which a ragtop group of adventure travels to space to find the best dirt. FYI, LLC and everything.
All right, Callie. All right.
Typing
I love this so much. He's probably laughing at himself right now. I love it. You love it. I love it. He's hilarious. And well, I'll give a shout out to Colorado Kid because he also inspires me a lot. We met on Instagram and we I don't know. I've kind of been like, hey, what do you do about this? And like we've kind of shared different things, and that's been really inspirational to have somebody who's also kind of going through it, because I had quite the growth spurt this year. I started off, I don't know, I think I had like 2,000 followers in January, and so it grew very fast, very quick, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then people are reaching out to me, and I didn't know what to do, and so having other people that are also kind of like in that realm has been very helpful. I guess other product spotlight, I guess to definitely give some love to World Ride, which I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast. The organization, they're a nonprofit, and their whole goal is to empower women through mountain biking all over the world. Through our trips. And so definitely check that out. And I guess lastly, I'll plug Women of Oz, which is the local group here in Northwest Arkansas, the women's organization. And that's the group that I coach primarily for. And they, I don't know, I've loved being able to coach, I don't know, just through that organization and just meet so many people through that. We have it's crazy how much it's grown. But we get like hundreds of women to come to our flagship ride, which is the first Saturday of every month. And so it's like this epic event on the first Saturday of every month. Hundreds of women.
That is awesome. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is really cool. We have something like that this way, Trail Social. It's just so cool to see women getting out there. And, we had that MTB International Women's Day podcast, and that was one of the biggest things was camaraderie and riding with other women. They just feel more comfortable, like they don't feel like they got that just send it mentality. They can understand each other and help each other get through it. So that's so cool that you're doing that. Then there was also the big need for, if we go back to Cosmic Dirt, you were saying clothing line that fits different shapes and sizes. That was one of the big needs that came out of that podcast, is that women wanted different types of clothing that would fit them versus just like the boxy cut feel and different colors too. Exactly. More colors. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And I think being able to, back to your point, Devin just said, we send it though. The Women of Oz group is pretty amazing because you can find the people. There's when I was mountain biking in my beginning days and I lived in Ithaca, New York, we had one women's group. There was like 6 of us, and so we just rode together, the 6 of us. And then, coming here to Bentonville, you go to a Women of Oz event and you can find people that like to ride more endurance miles, which I am not that person. I like going downhill. I like technical riding too. I love like rocks and stuff. So you can find the people that want to work on things that you want to work on, like jumps and drops, or they just want to hammer out 20 miles, so it's cool. You get to kind of find your people, which is really awesome. And then same thing with Cosmic Dirt is like the co-founders, Heather and Ashley, kind of met on the internet, and they were like, we need to solve this problem. This is really frustrating that we can't find mountain bike clothes that fit us properly. And so they launched a company. And so I think this is what I would love to see more of, is just more people saying, I'm going to, like, same thing with you, Mark and Joey, like, you're like, we want to start a podcast. Like I think there's so much room for growth here for people. And then if you have this feeling of like, oh, well, someone else is already doing that. So like, what if one person was like, that pizza place already is making pizza, so I'm not going to make my pizza place. I would be so sad, because you know how many types of pizza, like, right? Like, it's
right.
Like there's room for more,
more.
I think there's room for more. And I would love for mountain biking to continue to become more of an inclusive space. And so, so I think that's kind of like where I'm at too, just in terms of what I would love to do. My end goal really is to help make mountain biking more approachable and feel more inclusive to people, and not like this, like, you know, like, yeah, I could show you me doing cool stuff on my bike. There are plenty of people that do that way better. What I can show is the comedic side of things, and like Cali too, like Colorado. I like that I'm just calling him Cali, by the
way. he likes it. He likes it, right, Cali? It's not LLC'd or anything. His
is that LLC'd?
Fred Hall says, "Amen, amen" to what you just said there, Jess.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Hey, what is the Cosmic Dirts? Where can people go if they want to get a hold of some of that apparel, if they're man or woman?
Yeah, so I believe it's ridecosmicdirt.net or cosmicdirt.net. Both High Above and Cosmic Dirt have .nets. I remember this. Not very good at remembering the URLs, but you could definitely find them on Instagram at ridecosmicdirt, and I believe it's cosmicdirt.net. Same thing with High Above. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And then this was coming in as I asked that question from Callie, as Jess would say. Callie says, ugh, I don't even want to get started on my made for TV show about mountain bikers who make pizza on the trail. I'll fill you in via DM.
Yep, fill me in later.
Jess, I know you have a hard stop at 8 p.m. And so I want to make sure that we honor that for you. We are at 57 minutes, so just enough time to ask you a few more little questions. I used to ask some of these from the previous guests, and I thought you'd be a funny one to ask this. So some of the silly questions are like, is cereal a soup? Why or why not? So for the folks who've been with this podcast for a while, we are going back to those roots. Miss Jess the Maker. Is cereal a soup, and why or why not?
Yes, it's a cold soup, because it's floating in liquid. It's a cold soup. It's like a borscht. It's like a sweet borscht.
I feel like she's trying to sell that.
Yes, I kind of want some.
I like to answer things with with such confidence that it just comes off. So
I like it.
It's a cold soup.
Favorite cereal, if you were in a pinch and you're like, man, I gotta have the cereal before I go out riding, what would it be? Or favorite soup? I'm sorry, you called it a soup, right? You said it was a soup.
Oh, favorite soup. Oh, my favorite. Thank you for clarifying. I was confused when you said cereal. I was like, I don't know what that is. My favorite soup. My favorite soup is probably, y'all remember Smacks? I think Smacks are like Cat Chocula or something. Yeah.
Did it have the frog on it? Was that Smacks?
Yeah.
The big hands?
Smacks. Yeah. I liked those. I like them.
That's a good one. I like it. I like it. I like it. Joey, do you have any questions on that?
On that craziness?
The silly question.
Yeah. I love silly questions. Let's go.
If Joey's thinking of one, I do have one. If you could create a conspiracy that would ripple throughout the MTB community, what would the conspiracy be? And
that's deep.
Take it from there. Any conspiracy. And while you're thinking about that, Alex wants to know, is Cosmic Dirt just for the ladies?
There's the Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks. Oh, so Alex.
Honey Smacks.
No, it's unisex. I love that. Wait, $6.49.
Wait, Joey, bring that up again.
Cereal.
You do have
was
some
charging-
high taste there.
That's the family size, though.
It's 23 ounces.
Only
of
the best.
Honey Smacks.
Oh, it's a family.
Look at the
Only
marketing there.
best.
Look at the marketing there.
Yeah,
Says Honey Smacks good.
3.4 stars because it's terrible. Alex's question: the custard apparel is for all. And a conspiracy.
Yes.
I feel like
Anything.
there already is one with like clipless versus flats, like or
Okay.
just that like people don't know like what it refers to. That's a conspiracy in itself. But I think we should start saying that clipless are really flats. There it is.
That's
the flat
true.
Those are clipless.
Right? That makes total sense to me. I mean,
It would make sense.
right? Because you're looking,
It
people
would.
don't know about the cage. When people tell me, they go, there used to be these cages. I'm like, I just started it 2 years ago. There was a cage? You put it on your foot? That sounds crazy.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a little worried that all the
Yeah.
grocery stores are going to sell out of Honey Smacks tomorrow.
It's Honey Smacks for the win. It's
They're
gonna
like, why
be
are
no
we
more Honey
selling this
Smacks.
all? Yeah.
The marketing people
Yeah.
behind that. Let's put a big thing right in the middle. Honey Smacks. Good.
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 I would love to.
Oh.
I would have loved to have seen that marketing meeting. Like, you know, wow.
Honey Smacks good
I
right in
love
the
it.
middle, going once, going twice.
Nice.
Can I get a second
Going
on that?
once, going twice. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so
Jess,
good.
you are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on the
Aw.
Segment Podcast and giving us a chance to really get to know more about you. I really appreciate it. Will you let everybody know where they can find you and follow you on the social?
Yeah, so I'm at Jess the Maker on Instagram. I know I need to get on the YouTube and TikTok, so I will try to do that. But thank y'all so much for having me and reaching out. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see all of the exciting stuff that the segment has upcoming. So
Thank
keep doing what
you.
you're doing, y'all.
Thank you, Jess. And speaking of that,
Yeah.
so for you got the Instagram coming up, YouTube, anything else coming up, or possibly real ideas that you might be putting out there for the folks to follow?
Oh, yeah, I've got one tomorrow that's gonna feature my new bike, Lola. So that's
Ooh.
exciting. And then, y'all, I don't know if my friend Devin is still in here, but Devin had a genius idea called TikTok, which is not a TikTok. Callie's gonna be like, that's
That was quick. He jumped
yeah,
in.
he's so fast. So TikTok wouldn't be TikTok as we know it. It's a talk about ticks because that's a thing here
Okay.
in Arkansas. Y'all, I picked one out between my toes the other day,
Oh,
and it's so
Oh.
crazy.
Oh,
So-
whoa.
They're gross. They're disgusting. They're gross. Anyway, we've got something coming out Thursday, and as Colorado Kid said, we need to do. Yeah, he and I need to do a collab too. Which, yeah, hopefully in August when we see each other in Colorado, we should do something. So
Collab.
stay tuned for that.
Collab coming soon. Folks, get out there and subscribe to Jess the Maker on Instagram. Why not go ahead and do it for Colorado Kid? Because there is a collab coming soon. Keep an eye out for this Thursday
Love
when
it.
you go to her Instagram page. Something new coming out, and watch out for their new reel called Talk Tick or Tick Talk.
TikTok. It's TikTok. It's TikTok. It's very not to be confused
Talk
with
about ticks.
TikTok. Yeah,
Right, it's a
It's
different
talk about
tick.
ticks. Different kind of TikTok. All right, different kind of TikTok. Anyway, yeah. So stay tuned.
That is
y'all.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess. Great to have you on. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a good
Bye,
night.
guys. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. Bye.